Welcome to the Vinyl Collective, your weekly journal of the hip-hop R&B landscape. I'm your host, John.
And I'm your co-host, Sofa. And we're joined by a guest. I was going to say special guest, but, come on, let's relax here. But, we're joined by Harry Bennett. And I guess you're wondering, who is Harry Bennett? It just sounds like some guy who just picked up on the street to help us.
Well, it's true, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't be wrong. He wouldn't be wrong. But not like every other guy or every other casual music fan. He actually knows his shit. Like, he's not just
cheers, man. we haven't even met before, so I'm surprised to hear such praise coming from your mouth.
Yeah, I've heard things from around the way. John's kept you up to date. But yeah, like
I've spoken well.
From what I know, he seems like his knowledge runs deep. So he's not going to just say, emotionally, this album's like a instant classic if he, doesn't that, does he? So we'll bring him on today.
I came across this guy in the streets of Argentina about 4 years ago. Was it, Harry? Almost 4 years ago.
I think it was about that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of Argentina brought him back to the
UK. Adopted me.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, good to have you, Harry.
Yeah, I'm pleased to be here.
Yeah.
Pleased to be here. Big fan of the show.
Usually we as people listening will know, usually when we have guests, we do our little intro thing. We talk about the Spotlight series and then, we'll slowly bring in the guests. But Harry wasn't having any of that. He said, introduce me straight away. So here he is. He wants to be involved from the off.
I've already had a couple of shout outs on the show, so people know who I am.
They do. Yeah, they've been asking for it.
Yeah, and just want to add one more thing, because a lot of people are like, we should probably get bigger guests. We're starting out, but we've all seen last couple of weeks. It's probably better to buy when it's low, isn't it? But buy when it's low, and then once that person blows up, then it's like, fuck it, you do it the whole time. Your stocks rise. So
Harry's at the lowest possible point. It can only go up. It can only go up.
Christ, you've already renegated me, and it's 2 minutes in.
That's what we do. That's what we do. John gets us like every week.
Yeah, before we move on, let's quickly give a shout out to our Spotlight series this week.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Anna the Wise.
We have
Anna Wise. Yeah, since he's so keen to jump on in our intro, Harry, why don't you tell us about Anna Wise, what you think about her?
Mate, I was just telling Johnny before we started the episode, I've hardly listened to her. So I'm really not your go-to guy for this. But yeah, I just know her from one of the Kendrick Lamar collabs, which you guys did a long list of an Instagram post, I think I saw.
The number of ones she's like credited on. But you don't see her name pop up when you listen to the song. It's like, damn, that's all those like little vocals here and there.
Yeah.
Well, what was her earliest mention then on that list?
What project was it from? Cartoon and Serial. So that must have been like Overly Dedicated days.
Oh shit, wow. That is pretty early.
Yeah, that's pretty early on. Like, he bought low again because she's only 29 now. So that was like what, 10 years ago. So like before,
Do you know how Kendrick found her?
I think he found her through a producer called Tunji or something like that on YouTube, and then just picked her up from there. Literally, that was what happened.
Mad,
fucking crazy, mate. Like, she's one of those people. Like, even if she never made an album, she would probably go down as a legend just off the strength of these Kendrick features. Like, I'm pretty sure the residuals are just long, mate. Like, I don't think she used to do anything. Like, 15 songs, and a lot of these songs are massive. You got to think Pride, Real, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Money Trees. Some people say it's one of Kendrick's best songs ever. So it's like, yeah, her rap sheet is insane, like really, really insane. So it's just kind of weird that it's only when it comes to her solo works. Because I'm not gonna lie to you as well, especially because I didn't know she was on Real for Good Kid, Mad City, and I saw she was all over To Pimp a Butterfly, and obviously To Pimp a Butterfly is a really black album. So it never occurred to me that this could be a white woman. Like, at any point, like, I was like, wait, what? I was very confused. I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, obviously with like a young person who's involved with like jazz production, everything like that, just never occurred to me. But
I will say I wasn't a big fan of Real. I just thought
it's not the best song on that.
Yeah.
The chorus, so the bit she sung as well, I thought was pretty weak. Like, it was very,
it's quite flat.
Repetitive.
It is pretty flat. Yeah, it's not a highlight. I mean, compared to like Dee's Wars, where I think like yeah, she was a big part of them, the chorus, like that is a good fucking song. So yeah, I mean, it just seems like she's been able to grow as an artist literally just off Kendrick songs, really. And I don't know, I think she's only on her third album for someone who's been out for like the best part of 10 years. That's not that many albums. So I can't say I'm too surprised that her solo records haven't gone a lot of
they've just kind of flown under the radar, haven't they?
yeah, but for someone who's collaborated with Kendrick so much, you would think there'll be more. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, when Zakari featured Kendrick, everyone was all over Zakari for a bit, or same with Sir and stuff like that. So it's surprising that that kind of like translation from I've seen her on Kendrick's song to I'm going to listen to her music. That line of I don't know, engagement hasn't been too strong for her. But having said that, I mean, we got this her latest project. What do you think of it, John?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Which was the song that we it wasn't Abracadabra, the one that we kind of posted on social. That song.
That is a really good song.
That is a really good song.
Yeah,
she just works so well, especially the one with Abracadabra is probably my favorite off it. Just on the and talking of Little Sims, I hate to do this to him, but it's one of many in this episode. Gonna call Harry out on this. He said he's never really gotten into Little Sims. Never really.
No. But as I said, I told you not to bring this up because I haven't really given her a chance in the first place. So it's not as if I have any like valid criticism of her. But I don't know. Just haven't.
No, we'll get to that during the episode. We're definitely going to get to that.
So, sometimes there's just artists that just don't click with you.
It's true.
Like, you don't really have a reason. So
no, that's true.
Yeah. Sorry, I mean, to do that.
But yeah, and just as a disclaimer, I think a lot of people probably think, we discovered Anna Wise through Little Sims, or we discovered this album through Little Sims. I didn't know she was on it until I checked out. I was like, oh shit, like, do you know what I mean? But no, I get, it is what it is. But Abracadabra is a really good song. You can tell she was in her grey area bag, talking about being selfish and all of that stuff. So yeah, clear connection there. Then the Denzel Curry song's pretty good as well. Like I think every feature on this record is pretty solid. I can't lie. Like it's a pretty good album for like, it's only like 30 something minutes, so it's not even too long either. So it's kind of in and out, really. Yeah.
Yeah. But people should check her out. We've got our Spotlight series playlist on Spotify.
We
have 3 songs every week from a new artist.
Yeah, I mean, it's number 17 now. Gosh, I'm getting quite a lot of artists.
I have to start a new playlist. In terms of new music this last couple of weeks, I wanted to talk about Madlib's album. I don't know.
Sound Ancestors. Yes. Yeah, I've listened to it. I think it's one thing I was thinking about this actually. I've had to remodel the way I've looked at producer albums, because I think a lot of the time when I was younger, I just thought producer albums was like, the first thing I thought was, who's gonna rap on these beats? Like, I can't wait. Do you know what I mean? And I think now I've got to a point where it's like, I think I've realized that some of these beats aren't intentionally made to be rapped on or to be like put over anything. It's just done for the sake of, I just want to experiment with this sound or this beat or this sample. And I think obviously Madlib being the sample king, there's a lot of sounds here where it's like no one's gonna rap over this because it's not that type of vibe. But it's really good. Yeah, I think it's really, really good. Like he's just it's Madlib. It's not really much to say. I think Road the Lonely Ones, really good song. There's a couple others near the end that were really good. Some weird samples. I know some of them came like Indian or something like it's really strange. Like,
there's a Latin American beat in there.
Yeah. Like really strange ones.
There was also I thought was really good.
So Harry, what do you think about it? Even Lottie's had a lot. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan because I don't know whether you guys are into your electronic music like house, techno or whatever, but
less so.
Outside of FK Twigs, not much.
All right. So basically, the guy who produced this album was a guy called Forte.
Oh, yeah.
He's a pretty big electronic producer, like DJ as well. And basically, the process for the making of it was that Madlib just sent Forte a load of his beats, and just told him to do whatever he wanted with them. Basically, I think it was Forte's idea actually. The whole idea for the album. It was just like, because obviously Madlib, like, he's pretty recognized within hip hop, but obviously because he's just a producer, like he's rarely like at the forefront of any project. So I think they just wanted to showcase like what he was about. which is like one of the best producers of all time.
All time.
I think they did that on this album. So
because Fortet produced a whole album of remixes of Mad Villain, sorry, didn't he? I think it was a couple years after he produced like a whole remix album of it.
See, I hate remix albums.
He's been a fan. He's been a fan for like decades, and he just finally got his chance. He just like, he's shot his shot, and he's like, "Can I make an album with you?" Yeah,
I think Madlib at this stage of his career, I just think he's just like, all right then. Like, I think he's one of those guys. I don't think he really gives too much thought into who he works with. Like, even the whole No Name song, like even the implications that could come from that, like, oh, why are you producing for someone who's trying to get me? I don't think he even cares about that. It's like, oh, okay.
He's like, go and have it. Yeah, it's 1 minute. It's 1 minute 30. Take it.
Yeah, he seems that type of guy. He's like, he just likes just making music, like proper love of the art.
Although that whole No Name thing, because I don't know whether you guys read that Guardian interview with Madlib, and he was saying how rappers need to be more political these days. So the whole, I can imagine that maybe he weighed in, or he like produced the beat for No Name because J. Cole was kind of getting at her for being like no, he wasn't getting at her for being too political, but what was
in
it,
a
like,
sense, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe he just saw.
Could be.
Maybe he just backs No Name more than J. Cole and.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a statement. I think he definitely backs No Name in that whole debate. And I think that's why he did it for sure. Yeah. Did you see the Instagram videos of Freddie Gibbs rapping over some of these beats?
In the car.
Yeah.
He's in the car.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it's exciting. It wasn't amazing. Let's not get crazy, but it wasn't too bad. What do you think, John?
What of him in the car rapping? It wasn't that exciting. I mean, I get it. It was cool. It's like, he's really excited about Madlib's music, but I mean, the actual rapping itself wasn't.
So he's a bit drunk or something along those lines. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's just like, fuck it. Let me just work this out. I mean, speaking of producers, we also have, our boy Santan, not Dave, not Santan Dave, just Santan these days. Executive produced Fredo's latest album, Money Can't Buy Happiness. Now, John, have you given this a listen?
I've listened to like 6 of the tracks. Yeah,
Harry,
it's been a rushed week. I've listened to a few.
I literally listened to the lead single. I was listening to the previous episode of the Vinyl Collective, like just before this, and you mentioned that lead single, but you hadn't listened to it yet. I gave it a listen. Yeah, like I think is Santan's on the. He did the production for that, didn't he? The lead single was like that. Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't that interesting, to be honest.
In terms
of the production, there was like a little I remember at the end, like a nice little like piano solo came in. I was like, yeah, that's quite cool. But the rest of it was just pretty average. I thought pretty generic. So I don't know what the rest of the album's sounding like. Or maybe
you know what, Harry, you're spot on, mate, because that's what my worst fear was kind of came true with this project, where it's like, is he going to do the same shit he did on Psychodrama, but make it Roadman? And that's exactly what he's done. Like, he's done that same piano shit. Like, you got a bit of like, I won't say trap beats, but more like upbeat. And then it goes into like a little piano break and it goes back in. Like, Dave's known for doing that.
I think that's what people wanted though, didn't they? And that's what they were expecting to get as well.
I didn't want that. I just thought he was going to because the thing is, not his project. I thought he was just going to try random shit, because I think one of the biggest gripes with Psychodrama for me is that he's too reliant on the piano. Don't get me wrong, he's a great pianist, but it's like every fucking song. And then with this album, the songs that they produced, they stick out like a sore thumb. Like, it's so Dave, like you can't ignore it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's really, like, for example, even the intro, it sounds like Psycho in a little bit. I know people might be like, what? But the same kind of structure that Psycho has and Psychodrama is the exact same with this one. It's just like it's 5 minutes long for whatever reason. So yeah, like, it's all right. It's not bad. It's not a bad album at all. But I think because Dave was quite hands-on with the production, the same problems that Psychodrama had are the same problems this album had. And just to kind of close that, I know I'm breaking hearts here, mate, but fuck it. I do this every week. But because it's 11 tracks as well, and I think a lot of these artists that talk about very superficial things or things that the average person can't relate to, you don't want to keep it short because, like, I can't listen to like an hour of this. This is only 11 tracks. And I feel like once you've gone that route of making a concise album and it still doesn't really hit the mark as it should, that signals bad times, because it's like, okay, You don't work on short albums. You don't work on long albums. Like, okay, can you get any better from here? And I think that's the question I have for Fredo, because he's definitely talented. Let's not get it wrong. Like, he's a talented artist, but I don't know. Actually, I forgot to mention this, because I know you guys have something to say about this. Did you see that he sampled "Ready or Not" by the Fugees?
I did, and I replied to you. I saw your tweet on Twitter, and I 100% agree. If you're gonna, even just generally speaking, if you're gonna sample a song that is so well known, like I mean, I would say the Fugees aren't in most people's probably even top 20, top 30, but that song, that as soon as that sample comes on, everybody knows it. And I think if you're going to do that and you're not going to chop it and change it that much, you have to do something extraordinary on top of it. Otherwise, otherwise you don't get points just for sampling a great beat. You get points 100%. For doing something different on top of it. And
yeah,
he didn't kill it.
How much money are UK artists getting these days? I was like, this sample must be expensive, mate. Like, there's no way Lauryn Hill is giving you that for cheap. Like, I was really confused. I was like, Fredo got enough money for Ready or Not sample. That's no shade to him. Like, not many UK artists sample like that. So it's like, so you literally call the song Ready. Okay. Like, we're not doing great here. And then obviously Summer Walker literally kind of not only does some of Lauryn Hill's chorus, she does some of her verse as well. It's like, what is going on? Like this, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. Like, I could have told you this was like Summer Walker's not even singing at her peak. Like, you know, she's a better singer than what she showed on the album as well. So I was really just like, how expensive is this album for you to waste all your money on that feature, not even use it that well? Like, yeah, I was very confused by that. Also, you had Pop Smoke as well, and Young Ads, our boy, our favorite guy.
Pop Smoke was on it.
Pop Smoke's on it. Yeah, with Pop Smoke and Young Ads, called Burner on Deck.
Yeah,
it's not bad, but it's very, very rudimental. It's just, yeah.
It must have been recorded like quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry?
The Pop Smoke's verse must have been recorded quite a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, they linked up. They were in the studio, like, I think quite a bit before he died. I think they were big fans of one another. So, yeah, it must have been quite a while. So, obviously, it's not like he could edit it or do anything about it. So, obviously, no shade on him. But, yeah, Young Ads does exactly
Anyone still defending Young Ads at this point is...
Go on.
I can't do it. We had so much to say about him on when he came, what was it, on Edna, on Headies.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't as bad as that, but still.
I hate the pitch. I hate the pitch of the auto-tune, because there are great artists that use auto-tune all the time.
Even Kendrick uses auto-tune.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's just the tone, the pitch that Young Ads uses is just makes my toes curl.
Yeah, there's just no saving him. I think it's 2021, unless something drastic happens. But at least you know it is. At least the contract didn't say include Dirtbike on the album as well. It was just him. So you know, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. But yeah, I mean, that's really it in terms of the music. I don't know if anything else went about really.
No, I don't think so. We haven't got anything kind of being released in the next couple of weeks that has been announced, is it?
Oh, we do. Gets' album is coming out in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. I'm very excited for that, actually. He dropped a single today with our boy Pastor Lou. He was one of our spotlight artists. And Back Row G. Yeah. So he took the My Family formula. He says, fuck it, I need some of that. I haven't heard the song yet, but I was speaking to this about with one of the guys over at Slime Talk, and he released a track list for his album, and out of the 16 tracks, only 6 of them have no features. For me, that is very concerning, like, because he's put a lot of like hype behind this record, and for 10 of the tracks to have features, what's going on? What is going on? Like, and big features as well. Obviously, Stormzy. I think Ed Sheeran might be on this as well.
Wait, have you guys spoken about the Chipmunk and Stormzy beef? Because obviously Chipmunk released that tune after Stormzy did that feature on.
Tope's tired of it, but let's hear your opinion.
Yeah, go on. Talk,
I don't really have trying to think, because I'm not really clued up on it, to be honest. But what? Yeah,
Tope, go off.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, are we not gonna? What's the word? Fucking hell. Are we not gonna? Was it? Fucking hell. What is it when you just decide to stop talking about something? I can't remember what word it is. But that's what I'm doing with this one. Like, I feel like I've said everything I need to say about this one. Like, you can't win a rap beef if you're not involved. I don't care how good or bad you think that person is. Like, it's just.
Oh, so you're on Chip's side then?
Yeah, he's the only one involved. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's
no,
the
but
only
the
one
thing is, like, I don't blame Stormzy for not taking Chipmunks seriously, because like I've never taken Chipmunks seriously.
Oh, come on.
No,
come
I'm
on.
sorry. Like, since I think when did he sell out? That was quite a few years ago now, wasn't it? But like, he sold out like just as he was coming in, and then he made a song called Oopsie Daisy. And I don't know whether, I swear there's a rapper that's made this point before, but it's like, if you make a song called Oopsie Daisy, then I'm sorry, but I can't take you seriously.
I mean, I
think
everyone has
for me,
one.
he damaged his reputation beyond repair. So
Damn. Five Sanders. Gosh. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Right.
We are back.
Cool. Back. So this week's topic, you know, we normally go quite smoothly into it, but fuck it, whatever. So yeah, this week's topic, we're going to talk about all things humor. Like, wait, what humor? You guys are always funny. Yeah, we know that. But
Jesus Christ.
But not in that context. We're talking
and with that, you lost all 4 of your listeners.
Yeah. I mean, no, they love us anyways. I mean, mate, wait, how many countries is it now, John? Like 17? I bet they don't know what the fuck I'm saying at this point anyway. Right. So there's no way every country knows what I'm saying. They're like, oh, like Jay-Z. Like, oh, I know that guy. There's no way they know what I'm saying.
You know what it is? It could be like expats who've got caught out there because of coronavirus. This is the only English language podcast they found in who knows where.
In the depths of, like, I don't know, Dubai or
Sri Lanka.
Yeah. I mean, we actually do have listeners in India, weirdly enough. I don't know who that is.
What? In India?
Shout out.
Shout out to our Indian listeners.
Yeah, definitely expats.
But yeah, we're going to talk about the importance of humor in music. It can be rap, it can be R&B. It's probably mainly going to be rap this episode, if we're being honest. So, yeah, as you guys already know, Harry's pretty keen to get on this episode. So why don't you start us off, Harry? Like, when you think of humor, what's the first thing you think of?
Oh, bloody hell, throwing me in the deep end there. Christ.
It could be an artist. It could be
an artist.
Theme, an album.
Well, I mean, probably the funniest rapper in the game right now, I think, is Vince Staples. But as you alluded to in your notes, Johnny, he kind of leaves it at the door in terms of like his actual like recorded output.
Yeah, he does. Like his interviews never fails to he's just so deadpan as well about a lot of what he says. You're there cracking up and he's just talking about.
He's easily one of the funniest rappers to ever exist. In terms of just a people, just a person. And don't get me wrong, we don't see a lot of these people outside of interviews and anything like that. But just from what we've seen, he is like, he could legit do stand-up if he wanted to. I genuinely believe that. Like, he is so funny. I think he knows that, to be honest. Like, even his Twitter is funny as well. Like, he's just a really funny guy. Schoolboy Q as well. Schoolboy Q is fucking hilarious as well. It must be a Crip thing. So Snoop Dogg's funny as well. Like, they're all just funny. Like, they're all just hilarious, mate. So it's weird. Like, because you also mentioned it doesn't really translate much into the rapping. So do you think humor as an art is just underappreciated?
Although, like, just going back to Vince Staples, actually, I don't know whether you guys have seen his latest the Vince Staples show thing that he's doing at the moment. So, like, the last few singles he's released, he's also done like short kind of sitcom type skits to go alongside them. So yeah, which is, I don't know, but then like the songs in themselves aren't very funny, but like he puts them in like funny context.
Okay.
So like the first episode, for example, is like it's just like one of his like typical like gangster rap tunes, but then he kind of puts it in like a barbershop scenario. So basically he's listening to one of his tunes on his earphones, and then an earphone falls out and there's like some bloods behind him and they can hear him like repping the Crips on a tune and they start like beating him up and stuff. So yeah, it's like he's trying to pair gangster rap with comedy in a way that hasn't been done before, which is pretty interesting.
Damn, that is pretty interesting. I don't know.
And you said he's doing this little show for like all the singles he's releasing at the moment.
Yeah. So there's only been a few episodes, and they haven't really been released, in like very frequently. There have been months in between them. So yeah, I don't really know what the how coherent the whole thing is, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see.
He's trying things out. It's a pandemic. You've got to get creative, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
what do you think, John? Do you think humor's like a unappreciated art right now?
I think so. I also think it comes down to, like, it just seems like such a hit and miss. Like I know we've talked about before, but if you're going to make it like a funny track, it's either going to be, just like critically acclaimed. How on earth has this guy done it? Like that's hilarious. It's like creative. It's funny. There's also meaning behind it. I feel like you have to tick so many boxes to actually be an acclaimed, like humorous rapper. So I think that's probably why a lot of people are put off by it, because if it doesn't hit the highs, you're going to get slated for it. And I know Harry kind of got me onto, was it Lil Dicky at one point?
Yeah, but I mean,
who's simultaneously. No, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say Harry's the biggest fan. He got me onto him, but he's also simultaneously released, probably we both agree, right, one of the worst songs ever. Which
was that the Earth one?
We love the Earth or something.
We love the Earth was fucking trash.
Yeah, absolutely atrocious.
But
yeah. Whereas
so the thing is, I think we need to distinguish between, like, say, like rappers who are, rappers who are funny, and then like people who are making comedy rap, like as like a primary thing,
fair.
like Lil Dicky,
or like Action Bronson as well. He seems like he's down that line as well. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think Action Bronson's going for something more serious.
Okay. I mean, all right, cool. No, let's go on the other side, right? Cool. So we got rappers. So it's like guys who are funny and funny guys. Like, girls don't like a funny guy; they like guys who are funny. It's such a weird distinction, but it holds weight, doesn't it? So I think with rappers who are funny. So if you think about like Childish Gambino, 21 Savage, MF Doom. I guess. When we're distinguishing the two, is it a thing where you feel like one is intentionally trying to be funny and one just happens to be funny, or do you think they're just trying to approach it in different ways?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a lot of different types of humor as well. So like I was thinking. So I mean, when you first came to me with this idea, I mean, one of the first rappers that came to mind was Eminem. And the thing is, I think he came out literally as like a provocateur, and he was just going for like this kind of like shock humor type thing to kind of like make an impact in that sense. So yeah, I just think it depends on the rapper, really.
And even with that, like, I think I didn't even think of it that way, but I think that's 100% correct, because once Eminem fans grew up, I think that's when his career took a serious nosedive, because all the things he was doing back in the day where he was wearing like, superhero suits with Dr. Dre, it just wasn't hitting the same way anymore. So yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I think when you are a funny rapper, I feel like your lifespan as a rapper is cut short like massively, because there's only so many times people are gonna like respect the gimmick before it's like, oh, all right, cool. It's not as funny as your last, album.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in Eminem's case as well, like his humor was always pretty juvenile. And then when he tries and does the same thing, having aged like 20 years, it's like, sorry, mate, just grow up a bit.
Yeah.
Because he's still going for that same like shock value thing. What was that latest album he released that was just like a murder? What was it called?
Music to be murdered by.
He's going for the same aesthetic, and it's like he just hasn't grown at all.
Yes. I think there's obviously the type of humor which is, you've got your kind of your hip hop song, and then you've got elements of humor which are kind of to create like a moment or like a kind of a break from reality, right? So I think obviously you have the concept of like this kind of really difficult event or kind of stressful scenario that a rapper's trying to kind of deal and process, and they kind of approach it from a humorous standpoint, which I think a lot of like stand-up comedians do as well. Like that's why you know, a lot of kind of stand-up comedians become so popular because they can talk about serious issues and then put like a twist on it, and that's their way of kind of processing it. And I mean, I can't think of a huge number of examples, but I know Kanye West kind of does it. And I mean, the irony of him is that he had was it on New Day? He said, I might even make my son a Republican, so everybody knows he loves white people.
Yeah.
And it's just like the irony of it as well. But
no, Kanye West is definitely a guy like that. When you not say about that dyslexic child and his favorite 50 Cent song was 12 questions. Like, that is fucking hilarious, mate. Yeah.
There's one of my favorite Kanye lines as well is a shout out to Malcolm X on Graduation. It's like, I'm like a fly Malcolm X by any genes necessary. It's just an incredible bar, because it's like, you know, your standard like materialistic type bar, but like at the same time shouting like one of the biggest activists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what John's saying, I think rappers do kind of approach it like a stand-up. I think an example of this is like when No Name was making Room 25, a large part of her writing process was her going to comedy clubs. And you can kind of tell when on songs like Montego Bay, when she's just kind of like being a lot more playful, or even, I think it's even the first song when she's talking about her pussy teacher 9th grade English. Like, I think that just kind of comes from, do you know what I mean? It just kind of comes from being around that comedy where you don't need to just like hit people with punchlines all the time. You can just kind of say it casually. It's like, oh my gosh, that was so funny. Like, you know, when like the funniest jokes sometimes from comedians are the ones where they don't even laugh themselves. They just kind of say it like, you knew that was funny, but you just kind of walk around like it's not funny. So I think that's the main difference, where you can kind of tell. And Doom is a really good example of this as well, where it's like they're saying something funny, but they don't need to tell you it's funny. They don't need to either like make the beat seem really juvenile or anything like that. It's just funny, and you just kind of take it as it is. Yeah.
I guess going back to what you're saying, Harry, about like kind of Eminem having grown up, where do you think kind of MF Doom managed to kind of toe that line? Because he was all about like, you know, superheroes and like villains and like just humorous bars the whole time, and he could continue doing that throughout kind of his lifespan, and we all, I mean, us three guys especially, like just ate it up.
Yeah, that's one of the mad things, isn't it? Like it's mad that you made that work, that whole superhero thing, because like anyone else does it, and it's like the cheesiest thing ever. Do you know what I mean? It's
and he was rapping, some of the early raps were like, you know, he had East West Coast in the late 90s, and he was rapping about like Scooby-Doo lyrics and like random shit like that.
That's one of the things I love about Doom, is that he brought like a playfulness to rap at a time when it was, especially in the 90s, it was quite a serious landscape, wasn't it, really? Like, especially with all the beef going on between the East Coast and West Coast and stuff. And he just brought a playfulness to it, like just brought the fun back, really.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think also, as you mentioned, in that like seriousness of the 90s, that's when kind of the Southern hip hop kind of came into it, and that like there was a huge moment at like the 1995 Source Awards where best new rap group, and it was Outkast, and you just before that moment that they were announced, you'd had like Snoop Dogg on stage. Just like, it felt dangerous, like the energy in the air felt like something could happen. Snoop Dogg was on stage just like chatting rubbish, like it all just felt a bit tense in the air. And then Andre 3000, Big Boy got on stage, and I've got a quote from them just because it felt like quite a pivotal
the South
moment.
got something to say, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he was like, what was it? He said, it's like this though, I'm tired of them closed-minded folks. It's like we've got a tape, but nobody wants to hear it. But this is it. The South got something to say. And then
it's mad because like Andre 3000 was on the verge of tears. I was watching it the other day, actually.
Really pissed off.
I don't know whether you've seen, there's that documentary that's on BBC 4 at the moment called Hip Hop, the Songs That Shook America or something. It's produced by Questlove and Black Thought, among like other people. And there was an episode on the Outkast tune Elevators, and it was all about how they kind of like broke up that kind of like East-West monopoly. Pretty good watch. And they showed that Source Awards clip. It's pretty mad, really.
And he was like, it seemed like he was fighting back tears when he said it, and then you kind of, I think I saw it on it was some kind of a documentary, but like then you had the came back to like contemporary day, and you had like T.I. and like Ludacris and Killer Mike talking about what an influential moment that was for them. Like watching that as, I think Killer Mike was like 20, late teens or something, watching that and being like, that's us, like this, like it's our time, like Outkast are like on the biggest stage and they've like shouted out our genre. And they did it, like Outkast kind of did it through being a bit kind of alternative, a bit kind of funny.
They're
kind of their early albums.
So part of the documentary was, so they didn't just talk about that one tune, Elevators. They talked about their first ever single that got released was released on a Christmas compilation, because the label didn't want to take a gamble on them yet, because obviously there was that kind of like lack of respect for Southern artists. So the first single they got was this like Christmas song, and it was pretty. Was
it Players Ball?
Yeah, Players Ball. That's the one.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny in itself, in that like they were just talking about like their Christmas, so how like the liquor store's closed and their mom's cooking food, chitlins. I don't really know what it is, to be honest, but
it's American shit,
something something southern, and they didn't like. So like the humor was there from the offset.
Speaking of rap groups, I think another crew that was really good at doing this was Tribe Called Quest. Even songs like, even from way back from their first album, I Lost My Wallet and El Segundo. Like, this is one of the most respected rap groups of all time. And like, they make a song like this, like, what's going on here, mate? But I think there's times where when it comes to humor, I don't know. I think with humor, it's very hit or miss. I think sometimes when we speak about Outkast, I think the main shift in like humor was Aquemini. So that's the After Source, so like 1998, right? I think when it comes to humor, I think it's also dependent on where you start it on your, I guess, discography, because we've seen, so for example, with Tribe, they kind of, from the onset, they never took themselves too seriously. And I think that kind of reflected throughout the whole discography, but it never got corny. It was always just at the right level. Whereas you have someone like Big Sean, where if it goes wrong, then it kind of could, negative. I know John's just face part, but it can negatively impact your career for a long time. I feel like it's only just now, like Big Sean's been around for like well over 10 years. It's only just now he's starting to get out of that image that he's corny, because he started off, trying to be so funny with these rhymes. So I mean,
saying things like, "Girl, you hot and cold. That's what makes you warm." Get out in the bin with that one.
I've never rated Big Sean, to be honest.
I mean, Big Sean, another guy we could talk about is Childish Gambino, because when he started out, he was all about making, like, obviously he was a writer for 30 Rock and he was also a comedian, so he was like a born comedian. And
a stand-up comic as well.
Exactly, and a stand-up comic, and he definitely tried to incorporate that on his first album, Camp. Even songs like Bonfire are a literal homage to his comedic days. So, but with him, no one really looks at him that way and thinks, he's corny. Or do you think it kind of just depends on the person? Like, because when we spoke about this a couple episodes ago, where it's like we try to separate the artist from the person, but is it just certain type of people can get away with making certain funny lines and certain people can't?
I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure Childish Gambino got panned by the critics like very early on for being too corny.
Yes, he did actually. Fair.
And I think I don't know.
It took a hit in my books when he released that little tape with Jaden Smith and was it Kwaye or something?
Oh yes,
and it had like Jaden Smith spoken word.
Oh boy, no, that was a moment for me. I remember listening to that in like first year or something, being like, "Oh, really?" But that was a misstep.
That was pretty trash.
But I think it does depend on the person, because then he obviously learned from his mistakes. It didn't take him a decade, and he kind of learned how to like rein that in and put it in certain songs where he could, because he didn't kind of leave it behind then when he released something like Redbone or like
fair. I mean, no, I get what you're saying. I think when it comes to fans as well, I think you can't lay it on thick. I think it literally just has to be in passing most times than not, and I think that's when people really appreciate it. I think before I get into another example, because I want to kind of bring this up, like, I know a lot of people feel like when it comes to rappers particularly, it's either you're a lyricist or you're not. Like, so either your words have all this tied together meanings, or it's just words. And I think that's obviously a ridiculous statement to make, but that's how literally people think. So if you kind of think about people on our, you know, side of the Atlantic, we have Dave and we have J Hus, and Dave is, you know, seen as the lyrical guy. He puts words together, and J Hus just seems like, oh, you know, he makes good songs. It's like, wait, you know, there's actually words like in there. Like he's not just literally just writing words down. Like, you know, there's an art to it. But then J Hus is also known for being very funny as well in his rhymes. So do you define humor as lyricism? Harry, you go first.
Ooh, well, because you brought up J Hus, I'm just thinking back to your guys' take on Big Conspiracy, and I don't think J Hus is that good a lyricist, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think he's anything special. But it's one thing I like about J Hus is that there are a lot of tunes of his where he just doesn't seem to try very hard, and again, he kind of like brings a playfulness to it. Like one of my favorite J Hus songs is Plotting.
Yeah.
And like especially the second verse on that is just like
crazy, isn't it?
It's like, so yeah, you can just tell he's not trying too hard. So sorry, I've forgotten your question now.
No, it's like it's humor, lyricism. Like, is being funny in your rhymes a form of lyricism?
Again, like I suppose there's different
yes.
forms of.
Yeah, John's like, you don't have this debate like 100%. Go on, John. Why is it? Why is that?
No, it's because yes. Well, I feel like lyricism is just kind of an ability to like use. I mean, I don't know what the dictionary definition is, but like to kind of put words together and convey meaning in a way that impacts people. So that can be through MF Doom style. I mean, we keep using Doom. He just does it all, but like let's just say that he kind of does the kind of complexity bit, because I mean, there are so many YouTube videos where people break down his bars and like this ridiculous rhyming scheme that he's doing at like 100 miles an hour. And then you've got I just feel like there are so many different aspects to lyricism, and I think comedy humor is one of them. It doesn't have to be, you know, Dave uses long words. He was in top set English at school. Okay, there are a lot of different ways to convey meaning.
No, I 100% agree. Like, I think one thing people don't appreciate much is that when it comes to like a making of an album, right? Let's say on average, someone spends like a year and a half making an album. What I thought might have been funny in 2018, when I released in 2020. How the fuck am I meant to know that's going to be funny to everyone else? Like, you might think that was funny at the time, but to kind of bank on yourself and be like, yeah, even when they listen to it now, they're going to find this fucking hilarious. That is a really hard thing to find the balance of. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is not an easy thing to do.
Because you think humor tastes change so quickly. Is that what you're saying? Or
I think especially now with meme culture, for sure. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, that's why I think it's literally the same as stand-up. It's kind of hard to tell, oh, if I put this in a song, that people are going to find it funny. Like, it could be maybe a joke on something that's happening at that time. It's like, you can't tell. It's literally just a guess. You just got to have so much belief in yourself that's going to come across the right way.
Yeah. So, like, going back to my example of Eminem earlier as well, it's like, I don't think a lot of his shock humor stuff would work today. And in fact, we can see that it's not. Like, he was all but cancelled, wasn't he? Like, especially with his comments on Tyler. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if like Marshall Mathers LP or like his early albums were released now, the humor wouldn't land.
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's true.
Because understand, and rightly so. Like, a lot of the shit that he was saying back in the day just wouldn't stand now.
Yeah, 100%. I think if we kind of tie it to the comedy world, like one of my favorite stand-ups of all time is Eddie Murphy's Raw, right? That came out late 70s, something like that.
I was watching that last week.
Yeah, there is no way that could come out today. Like, it's just impossible. But you can't say it's not funny. But yeah, comedy. Same as John's saying, because a lot of comedians are quite political, and I think with art, a lot of the time you're kind of documenting the times. So what could be relevant then might not be relevant now. So what could be funny 10 years ago might not be funny now. So yeah, I 100% agree. Like, that's why I think when it comes to making albums, yeah, it can be really hard just to think, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna believe this there. Like, this joke's about 2 years old. So yeah, I don't know. There's a bit of art behind it. to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we should share a couple of bars each, because I know that's literally the point of today, wasn't it? Just to share some of our favorite funny bars. So I'll start just in case you guys need to find yours.
Yeah.
There are so many. Okay, I'm going to start. MF Doom. We know he's got bars for days, but I'm going to pick one of them. It's from Doomsday. And it said, known amongst hoes for the bang bang, known amongst foes for flow without no talking orangutans, only gin and tang, guzzled out a rusty tin can, me and this mic is like yin and yang. I mean...
Yeah, Doom's a master. Doom's a master.
Just says it all.
Yeah. Harry, you go next?
Go on, Harry, give us one.
Yeah, have you guys heard of Flo Milli?
Yes.
Yeah, she's kind of new, but there's female rapper. But she came in with one of the best opening bars I've heard in a while, which is "Dicks up when I step in the party," which is just incredible. And that's it's got like I feel like a lot of rappers use humor like when they're like, what's it called, like braggadocio or whatever.
Yeah,
that form of rap, like when they're like mocking rivals and stuff. But yeah, that was just the best like humorous bragging bar I've seen in a while.
That is good. Love that. Go on, Tope, give us one.
All right, cool. I had a few on my phone because some lines were just took me out, so I had to write some of them out.
I'm going to be reading more after you, so go for it.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. Let me get them down. Oh, I had a few. Give me 1 second. Actually, no, do one more. Come back to me. Do one more.
Okay.
You got one, Johnny,
Yeah.
Actually, no, I got it. I'm here. I've got it. I'm
going anyway. The Far Side.
Okay.
Song called Your Mama, so it's going to be funny. Your mama's so big and fat that she can get busy with 22 burritos, but times are rough. I see in the back of Taco Bell with handcuffs.
What is that? So the name of the song is Yo Mama. So is the whole thing just like a load of Yo Mama jokes? Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's a throwback.
Classic. From the Far Side as well, who've got some genuine songs.
All right, cool. Cool. I'm going to go. So it's from YG. I got a question, so it's still Brazy. So he said, that shouldn't even count though, because I told you I caught that buddy. That's trust. You shouldn't count those. So he's talking about when he's cheating on his girl. It's basically like, I told you about it, so it doesn't count. So I just thought that was really funny. I'll give another one. From 2-3. So I ain't bothered. I stepped in with flavors. Weed so loud, got an answer from the neighbors. So I think that's pretty good. Go on, Harry.
So one of my favorite, one of the funniest ever verses I think is 2 Chainz, who's so underrated in my opinion.
He's fucking hilarious, mate.
He's so underrated. Yeah. But on 3500 with that Travis Scott tune, that, like as a tune in itself, like up until 2 Chainz' verse is like a bit tiring. I don't know, like it's a bit repetitive. Like I don't know. And Travis Scott, I've never really rated his bars, but then 2 Chainz comes in with one of the funniest verses ever, and like or just to give you an example, like where he comes in like a bar, he's got a bathtub the size of swimming pools, backstrokes to his children's room. And then I was born with some nappy hair. I'm drinking breast milk out of a lean cup. Like, I mean, the whole thing's just so quotable. Yeah, my name is Titty Boy. Yeah, my name is Titty Boy. I don't fuck with hoes that wear sports bras. Like,
what? Oh boy. That's that.
I've got another one from Jid. Never. This is just a straight one bar, but it's hilarious. John's gonna know it. What do you call a bitch that don't suck dick? You don't. That is an amazing line. Yeah, shout out to Jid for that.
Did you sing that at the concert?
Yes, I did. 100% I did.
Did he? No,
he did sing that.
You sang it. That's
he sang it. Yeah.
I know you would have sung it if he sang it. Topo was next to him in the concert. Every single bar. There were other people that sat down at that point because they're like, "Oh, we don't really know these guys." Topo's screaming at the top of his lungs.
The amount of people had given me dirty looks because my voice is quite, prevalent. So when I'm just rapping a bar, like it's so loud, like if I'm in someone's ear and they just hear me just going off, they're like,
oh, that's so annoying at gigs as well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tops. Don't ever go anywhere with him.
But the problem is, because I only go to concerts to artists I like, right? So it's like when I go to concerts, like I know a lot of your songs, else I wouldn't go. I'm not one of those people. So I think after that Judd concert, I think it was John who, like, I saw him rolling his eyes a couple of times. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna do this at Little Sims concert then. So when it came to Little Sims concert, I tried to act like I didn't know the words on purpose, just to come across not as toxic, because I just knew it was stressing him out.
But the excitement came out when she came down onto
that was
the arena.
Mate.
Then we lost it.
Best gig you've been to? Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
Immense, absolutely immense.
Kano came out and was just like, love it. Come on, that top boy connection.
Any more funny lines? I've got a few more actually.
Shaitan in police uniform, feds in a helicopter. I seen pigs fly, but I never seen a unicorn.
How is that not lyricism, Harry? That is fucking amazing. I'm sorry. That is so funny. Oh man! When I first heard that line, I can't believe no one said that yet. That is, it sounds so obvious, but no one's ever said that before. That's
hilarious. One of the things you were talking about in terms of lyricism and humor and stuff, was the fact that the phrases and words that he uses are just like people have just picked them up and started using them, right? That's definitely
like
lyricism.
Words like bunda and usna and stuff like that. It just comes across funny. Like, what the hell is that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
just so like, what's the word, like onomatopoeic?
Yeah,
just like it describes it. You can like sense what it is in the word.
Exactly. I'll give maybe one more. So this is from SL Gentleman. So Mum said I lost the plot. At least I never lost my crop. So yeah, that's what was funny. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So I don't know. Also, we come to a conclusion in this one, but yeah, I think when it comes to humor, I think it's so important. I think people underappreciate, like, especially if I'm talking about, like, if I'm talking about the night where my friend died, I might add a little funny line like, oh, he drank so much lean until, I don't know, his face turned blue. Like, obviously, that's not a real part of the story, but it just alleviates.
Tops, come on, when you're dropping.
Sharp. Anyways, it just alleviates the story, because you can't just be like, oh, like, imagine Good Kid, Mad City was literally, oh, went out with the guys one night, my friend got murdered, and I wanted to, like, that's way darker. Do you know what I mean?
You've got to have the little skits. You've got to have the like mum telling him to come home because she's ordering pizza. Or like,
exactly.
It's like a yin and yang thing, isn't it? It's like you won't feel the heavy stuff as much if it's all heavy. Do you know what I mean? You need to break it up. Yeah,
exactly.
Although having said that, I rarely hear a skit that's actually funny. Like, I swear most skits I hear, it's like, why are you bothering me with this? Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I agreed.
Although to be fair, though, sorry, I'm saying that in response to your example of like Kendrick, and like, obviously you need the skits in that to like, because it's a whole like concept album, right? It's telling a story. Yeah. But quite a lot of the time I just have no time for skits.
No, I 100% agree. That and College Dropout probably have two best skits probably ever. Yeah. So yeah.
But we will be back with the third part of our episode after a quick break.
No worries.
And we are back for the third part. I think what we were saying earlier in the episode about kind of like southern rap being that like kind of innovative, like influential kind of branch of hip hop that really started kind of taking hold in the late 90s. By the kind of early 2000s, we had the genre that we all know and love, crunk. Yeah, don't really love it. Obviously, kind of the most well-known artist from that kind of like subgenre is Lil Jon, and I feel like we can all hear his voice when we say his name, and I think we can all hear one word probably, which is yeah. And I'm not going to do it in his voice.
You know what? Didn't he come up with didn't he have his own juice at one point? He had like his own crunk juice, right? I remember watching a video. I think it was on MTV, so you already know it's fucking ages ago. It was like, I think he was like at like a barbecue or something, and he was making chicken with crunk juice or something.
That is so funny that they made a juice out of it as well, given what the word means.
Yeah. What flavor is the juice?
I don't know what flavor the juice is, but I just know that he was seasoning the chicken with it, and
it's like a mystery cocktail. It's just like it keeps you going for hours.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I do not trust that juice.
I'm not be drinking that.
If you drank the crunk juice, don't worry about what's in the vaccine. Anyway, let's continue.
Oh, too funny. But yeah, like crunk, obviously, Little John, just his voice in and of itself. I was talking with Harry because I'd sent you there's a Dave Chappelle sketch where he just rinses the whole. And Little John's in it as well, which just makes it funnier. When they're just on the phone back and forth to each other, just saying, "Yeah, what was that?" Yeah.
That's the thing. I wasn't even aware of the sketch before, but just that voice is just like prime material for a comedy skit. Like I don't know how anyone, even himself, I don't know how he takes himself seriously. Because honestly, whenever I hear a tune of his come on in like a club or anything, I just start laughing. Like,
yeah.
There
you go. Is that unintentional humor? Is that kind of because it didn't even just stay in the kind of South. Like you had a lot of remixes. You had a lot of artists like Chris Brown that kind of like had crunk aspects in their music and kind of.
I think how do you define crunk then?
I think it's that kind of like call and response type thing. So it's like really simplistic lyrics. It's not really about the lyrics, the content of what you're saying. It's more about the musicality. So there's like a specific crunk sound, which I don't know quite how to describe, but then it's just typified by the call and response.
I've just had a thought. Was like Lil Jon one of the originators of like ad-libs?
Oh no, I don't think
like,
so.
Especially if like crunk itself was like, I don't know, not really about the lyrics. Like I don't know. Maybe.
We had DMX, which I was just about to, which I was thinking about there, because DMX's voice, like when I hear DMX's voice, I just laugh. Like it's just funny. Like I don't know what it is, especially that fucking Christmas song that he made. Like it's just funny. I think some people, I think some people just have a voice that is just humorous, or because they're so. Don't be rude, but you come across so incoherent. It's like fuck, it's just funny, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? I think the 2021 spirit of that is a Back Row G on My Family, because he kind of gives that same thing. Like it's so like he just says things. It's like fuck it, like tell my babes off her wig. Like why not?
You know what, Tope? It's so funny you mentioned DMX because I thought we'd have a little interlude, play a little game called "Who Said It." Donald Trump or DMX? Not that we even need to lighten the mood anymore, but here we go.
Incredible.
Got a couple of little quotes for you guys.
Okay, cool. Hit you with it.
So, which of these two said, his name is Barack? What the fuck is a Barack? Like, Barack. What the fuck is a Barack?
I'm going to say that's Trump, mate.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, probably Trump. Because Trump was coming for
it was DMX. DMX said that.
Jesus.
DMX said something like, which mama looked at their baby and decided to call it that. There we go. Okay. Question number 2. I knew Michael Jackson better than anybody.
That's definitely Trump. That is definitely Trump.
Yeah, because it's one of those weird things where like Trump bragged about really weird things, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So like it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Again,
Trump as well.
Trump is the correct answer. Okay. Which of these two, was it Donald Trump or DMX, who punched their primary school teacher, gave them a black eye because they didn't think that their music teacher knew much about music?
DMX.
DMX
I think Trump is all talk. I think he's actually just a bit of a coward, to be honest.
Yeah.
The answer is Donald Trump. He said he punched his 2nd grade teacher in the eye, but there have been a lot of stories saying that that's a lie. It didn't happen. There we go. Got 2 more.
Well, there you go. He's all talk.
That pig never got sodomized. It never happened. Let's keep going.
Who said, I don't even know how to use a computer?
Oh, fuck. Now I don't even know, man. You fucking got me this time.
This is the beauty of this game.
I feel like DMX would know how to use a computer, man. I mean, he was in that Jet Li film. He knows about technology. So I can't say it's DMX. I'm going to say it's Trump. I'm going Trump again. I'm just going to double down.
Well, Trump's like, pretty much. Well, he was always on Twitter, wasn't he? So,
yeah, like, he's always, he must know how to use a computer.
The answer is DMX. The exact quote was talking about technology. I don't know much about that. I don't even know how to use a computer. DMX.
When was that though?
Yeah, when was that? It was like 99.
I don't have dates. Sorry, I just have quotes for you. The final one is you'd be surprised what can be considered a drug.
I'm not even gonna guess on that one. That's both of them. That's both of them. They're both in a room together when they were speaking about drugs. That's a trick question.
It could be either.
It's DMX.
DMX. Yeah.
DMX is the correct answer. But yeah, I think that little segment, it'll be down to the listeners at home to decide if that comes back in the future. But there we go.
That was good though. You chose some good.
Yeah, a little jingle for that.
Yeah. Maybe Donald Trump's like a sleeper rapper. Like he's just low-key just one of those funny rappers, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? What the hell? Gosh.
Oh, dear.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that I feel like we might have time before we kind of wrap up just to give one last lyric each, if we've got one, because I know the people at home will be enjoying this. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
This is it's a pretty corny line from Chance the Rapper.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
It's a song. So I think the album was called was it Blue Chip 7000 or something? It was Action Bronson.
Oh, I don't know if that's Bronson.
The whole song was kind of like a petty response to someone that like dumped or cheated on him. Okay. And Chance goes, "I hope you get a paper cut on your tongue. I hope every soda you drink is already shaken up. I hope you never get off a Friday and you work at a Friday. I hope you lose your lottery ticket."
I have heard that song actually.
That's a bit of a throwback, yeah. Like, yeah, that was great passive aggressive.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's colouring book era as well. That was 2016.
What? The same era he was meeting this girl that he wasn't trying to break up with and he got married to. Okay, no worries. Anyways, I'll give you one. This is from RV and Heady One. Let's go. So anytime that I run a man down, I'm pissed when they get away. I hope one of them trips no LMA. It's just funny. So it's just what he said. It's just hilarious. So yeah, I'll be my last one.
Love it when it's just that kind of like school ground.
Yeah, literally.
The petty stuff. It's like, I hope this happens to you. Go on, Harry.
I don't actually have any more, I'm afraid.
That's fine. I'll hit you guys with one on Harry's behalf. MF Doom again, because we love him. Classical slapstick rappers need chapstick. Only in America could you find a way to earn a healthy buck and still keep your attitude on self-destruct. Which is deep as well. Humorous and deep.
It can be both.
Quoted, Johnny, I'm pretty sure you quoted my favourite ever Doom lyric on I can't remember which episode it was. It was borderline schizo, sort of fine tits though.
Oh yeah, that's
just like
boy. That is had a voice like Jezzy Joy, like someone Joyce spitting through her missing tooth. Oh boy. Anyway, that kind of wraps up our episode on humour. But before we go, as ever, every single week, we have to go to our Now and Then playlist.
That is right.
We've got a guest today, so we're going to start off with you, Harry. Have you got a newish song and a throwback as well?
Yeah, so for my throwback, I had to go for a Young Thug one because I'm still not over Johnny's shot at Young Thug the other day on Twitter.
Wasn't a shot. Read the transcript,
I mean, Tops has called you a music boomer in the past, and it was probably the most music boomer tweet I've ever seen, or response I've ever seen. Basically calling out Young Thug for not having any lyrics, but as if Thug is a rapper that you go to for lyrics.
Good point.
So I chose Halftime by Young Thug off Bar 6.
Okay.
Just because it's Thug at his like most innovative. So as I said, you don't go to Thug for bars, you go to him for flows and melodies. And on that he switches flows so many times and melodies so many times. So I just but I said well, for me, Young Thug is probably the most interesting, maybe even the most influential artist in rap. at least in the last decade, maybe even this century.
Jesus,
I think. So,
Jesus Christ!
and the fact that you don't have a tune of his in your now and then playlist as of yet is just an absolute travesty. So yeah,
as if he's decade, he thought he was like, no, I'm not pushing it far enough. Century.
Yeah, he's just like
century.
Like that trump card wasn't big enough. He just keep going, man. Like fucking hell. I have no words for that.
What's your throwback?
My throwback. Wait, no. So that was my throwback.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So my now is well, I wanted to choose a Millions tune.
Okay.
Just because I think it's one of the most well, yeah. I don't want to come out with like a claim as bold as I.
Superlative Central today with Harry.
Yeah, honestly. But no, I just think he's one of the more interesting artists coming out the UK at the moment. Like, because I feel like. I don't know. There's just I think Topo was making the point the other day that like a lot of UK hip hop is sounding the same.
Yeah.
At the moment, but he's coming in with like, I think like we need even down to like the voice. I think we need new accents. Like it's all like pretty London dominated. So like it's just interesting to hear like a Brimmy coming in with like his downward monotone. And yeah, so I mean, I chose BX19 just because like this thing is storytelling is mad on that tune, and just voice and flow wise as well he's just pretty interesting. Like he has this weird flow where he like with every other bar he like crams extra syllables in, but like still lands in the pockets. Like it's I just think it's brilliant artist. But
yeah, shout out to Midlands Heady One, basically.
Yeah. Go on, Tops here. Let's do 2 songs.
Right, I'm gonna start with my Ven. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna start with my Ven. I'm gonna go Santeria by Pusha T. Yeah, that song. Shout out to Daytona. Can't believe he's almost 3 years old now. Gosh, time flies. And my now song. Oof. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Fredo because I haven't listened to it quite a bit. I like. Back to Basics. The flows he was playing with on that song. I know you didn't like it, John, but I think the song is really good. Like, and he was really funny on this one as well. Like when he talked about "You're not my main, you're my side edition," so I'm gonna need some when the wife is drinking. I thought that was really funny.
Wow.
So yeah, I think I like this one quite a lot. So I'm gonna add Back to Basics by Fredo.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, for my throwback, I feel like I've mentioned them so many times today. So gonna go with Outcast Roses.
Okay. Damn.
Great song.
Big throwback.
Great song. And my now song is one that our special guest today sent to me a number of weeks ago, which was Cane Train with Freddie Gibbs and Machine Drum.
Oh, Machine Drum, yeah. Good tune.
Yeah.
I feel like we're becoming Freddie Kane. I was going to say Freddie Kane, but he does call himself that. Fuck it. I was going to say Freddie Gibbs and Lil Sims ambassadors. Like, but we introduce so many people to Freddie Gibbs.
Get paid at this point.
Like, gosh.
Free publicity. All those 4 listeners, 3 now that Harry's promised to stop listening. But there we go. Yeah. So you can find that playlist on Spotify along with our our Shazam playlist as well.
Oh yeah.
So if we're mentioning any songs today, any funny lyrics, you'll probably be able to find those songs on our playlist.
Definitely the easiest playlist to maintain, and you can also keep us, keep connected to us on social media. So we're on TVC Pod, we're on that's Twitter, Vinyl Collective Pod on Instagram, YouTube, the Vinyl Collective. If you want to watch this, you just look at the YouTube screen. I don't know why they want to do that, but fuck it, people are into that. Yeah, we've got a Facebook page as well, Vinyl Collective, if you're into that as well.
We are everywhere.
We're everywhere. I don't know if Harry
last but not least, yeah, Harry, he's said a few things today, hasn't he? He's been throwing out wild claims. But if you want to kind of interact with some kind of subpar music takes, then what's your socials, Harry?
My Twitter's at HarryJ_B. And my Instagram's not worth following because I don't post on there. I just lurk. So just keep it at the Twitter.
Cool. That has been us. Thank you for listening.
Cool. See you next week.